So we finished with this first assignment, right? Everyone? Just it was very simple, just creating things and putting it into the place. So had anyone had problem in creating first assignment? The tracker assignment? Not Knut's assignment, but the tracker assignment. Yeah? Okay. So this, probably like people in WHO, they know, move it, where you want to register the vital events, birth registration or death registration or metal death audit, where you want to record a person and also all its details, its demographic details and everything. That's what we use, single event program. Before we were just like talking without anything to do with person. Now we want to collect everything about the person, his whole demographic details, and we link it to the health service. Here, like we really need to identify. Now I'm talking one more thing. I'm not talking about the program anymore. I'm talking about person, individual. So one more new object called person is added now. Okay? Basically, the use case is this one. Recording neonatal or maternal deaths audit. Like in every country, like we have audit, right? We have 15 pages of audit report. Usually, sometimes what happens, it's few audit reports are done by the health workers, and few audit reports are done by the medical doctor. Yeah, so this audit report you can configure in your DHIS to collect your whole death audit, where you have person details, or person demographic details, and health service details, where you can combine these two to make one program. Okay? This is the normal use cases what we are trying to deal with, where you can aggregate the reports, say top 5 direct causes for maternal death in our country. So DHS can produce your top 5 maternal death things. Okay? Basic terminology. We know about the program, right? Or so-called program and program stage. But this is one thing which we need to, which we'll try to talk about. Person, attribute, identifier, and attribute group. Okay? So person is a person. Male and female and everyone else is a person. And then attribute is something about the person. It can be gender, date of birth, telephone number, let's just say email address, contact details, where does he live, all those things which describes a particular person's characteristic that can be attribute. There is also sometimes a gray area, like for example weight. Weight of a person or weight of a child. It can be either be in a person category or in a data element. Weight is always good to add it in a data element, not in a person characteristic, because it's keep on changing. For example, person has a gender male. You can't really change it, or you can, but yeah, still. So something which is fixed, you can like try to put it over. Weight, for example, baby. You want to track baby's weight for 5 years, then don't put your weight in the person attribute. Okay? Weight is a data element. So that like then you can use the weight for monitoring. Okay, weight of this particular person in last year was so much, this year was so much, you can do that one. But person attribute, you can't do that one. Person attribute is just, you can update it, but there won't be any audit trail. Okay? Anything if you want to track, monitor, it's always on the data element side. Okay? So person, you have identifier, also one more thing. Identifier can be passport number, income tax ID, it can be what else, national ID number. It can also be, let's say, in India, and I don't know whether in Bangladesh also, this ration card number, which is for whole family. It's a family number, which is given to the whole family, and a family can share. It can also be that one. Okay? So it can be individual identifier, also it can be the whole group identifier. That's also fine. Identifier can be mandatory, cannot be mandatory. We can also set that one. It can be related, like for example, let's say family health card number. So if you have family health card number, it is also linked to all your other family. So they don't really have to type it again, so it can just link it in, it's okay. You can also have passport, which is, passport number is, it's even if you have a baby, you have a different passport number. You don't really have a same passport number to other people, yeah? So sometimes it's only person, sometimes it can be related to your family, okay? So three a bit different concept: person, identifier, attribute. And attribute group is nothing but grouping different attributes together. For example, you say demographic attribute, educational attribute, and then you can have different kind of things inside just to make a group of the attributes. If you have a list of long attribute or personal details, so you can group them, contact information as one attribute group, and you can include a telephone number, phone number, email address, URL, all those things as your contact information. You can have a, let's say, educational as an attribute group, and you can include what is his education status is, and all other things you can try to put it over there. Okay? Attribute, attribute groups, identifier. So all relate to the person object. Okay? Just tell me if I'm more technical, but we just talking about few different concepts to go through. Okay? It's fine? Okay. Now, it's just a three component of registering a person. Eh? So when you have a registration, a person registration or a vital event, you have this, the primary, let's say a name, date of birth, gender, blood group, all these different things. Then you have an identifier. Identifier can link to all the different things, like for example, UUID in India, TB health ID, national ID, that's an identifier name and the number. And then you have all your attributes, telephone number, husband name, or father's name, and all the village and everything, it can be in attribute. Fine? Person, identifier, attribute. It's all linked together. Up here. So we know this one, right? So we created this. We created a program stage, data element, option, or other way around. We created the option and then I'll assign that one to a data element. And then we created the program and we included the data element in the program stage. Yeah? Now what we do, we have a linkage of person to the program. Yeah, so not complicated at all. We're just like linking person to the particular program. That's it. That's what we are trying to do now. Yeah, very simple. So how we do, step-by-step process. First, we identify a single event program. Let's say maternal death audit, or let's say neonatal death or infant death audit. That's the program. Okay, now health people have to help me up. Let's just say infant death audit. Okay. Yeah? So now let me add what are the different things what we need to collect first. It's always better to put it in an Excel and then we put it in the DHS, just to, or a paper or anything. For audit, we require first name, last name, for example. Since it's infant death, so date of birth, gender, no. Now I'm just talking about the persons and persons attribute information. Okay? And then we talk about the health, yeah, or the services. So here, this is the audit form. Let me just put it up. So these are the person's information, and this is service. Okay? So what we want to collect. First name, last name, date of birth, and since it's a child, we say father's name, mother's name, identifier. So which identifier? We are dealing with infant death. Infant death is children under 1, right? So, which identifier? Okay, so we just say parents identifier, birth registration number, okay? Anything else on the person side? Address, because it's we need to investigate. Okay, parents, phone number, and then we just say address. Are we missing anything? Education qualification. Not of the baby, but the. How many people think education qualification is very stupid to ask? But when I was applying for my child passport, I have to fill those things too. Education qualification of the baby. Because it was the same form for everyone, sir. Okay? So anything else? This is fine for the demographic details? Okay, let's come to the health service part now. So what do you want to collect here? Date of death. Cause of death. That's it? Place of death. And okay, audit conducted. Yes or no? Okay, so we have this. It's fine. Okay. Then let's go back. What we have to do? We identify it. Then we need to identify option sets. Gender, okay, male, female, we already have it. Do we have option set anything here? No? Yes? No? In the person's attribute, do we have any more option set apart from gender? Okay. What about here? No, we have date of death. And we have a DOB, so we can get the age of death. Cause of death, okay. So what are the different types of cause of death? We don't, ICD-10. ICD-10. Place of death, we can say hospital, PHC, home. Others? Yeah? Death audit, yes/no. Okay? It's fine? Yes?
Can we take from the organization hierarchy, that means we may be recording from somewhere else, but
Yes, we can also do that. Like we can include whole organizational tree in DHIs as your registration happens. There are two things, like there is a difference between recording and reporting. The place of death may happen in some other place, but audit was done in some other places. So you can also have an hierarchy, or you can also have a broad, let's say, only district list. Those things also you can do it. Yeah, it's fine. I'll tell that one a bit later, how to include it. But right now, is this fine? Place of death? Okay? Fine, everyone in the back? Okay. Now, I'll go back to my DHIs. So first thing, what you should do now? Sorry, one more time? Now, first we have to log in. Yes. Okay, log in, and now, yes, option set. Always start with the lowest one, option set. So let me just see what are the different option set I should create. I should create option set ICD-10, but ICD-10 is already there. Gender, male and female, is already there. And this is I need to create, place of death. And audit I don't have to create because it's just S no option, okay? So I just want to create place of death. Go for option set, where do you create? We go for maintenance. We go for data administration. We go for option set. And then we add new, let's say, place of death. I say infed audit. It was hospital. Health center. Then we have home. We have others. Okay? Add. And then rest of the things are already there, I guess. Let's just check. Yes, it's there. Okay. Now, we finish this. Before we go around here, there is one more thing. Create person attribute. Okay? And then you can create this one. For also, like for creating person or person attribute, we go for maintenance, person and program. And here you have all the things. Person attribute, all these things around here. Okay? So you have first name, last name, everything as a person's attribute. So add new. Here you can have predefined. For example, let's just say cancel. Like gender, it's an all different attributes. Before we had 4 primary attributes. Now we removed everything. Before, like person, first name, all the different things was in the as a primary object. But now we remove that one to attribute, so you can add anything. Because sometimes you don't want to collect the name. You just want to collect the rest all the details as a person's attribute. You can try to do it. So gender is there, fine. DOB type, I don't require. Date of birth is there. Address is there. What else we need? This is there, this is there, this is there. Father's name, mother's name, we don't have it. Parents identifier, let's just see. No, it's not there. So we add new. No, let me add father's name. Or mother's name. Here you can make it whether it is mandatory or not. And there is also something called inherent. That means like if you enter the father's address and you want to link that father's address to, let's say, the child, you can say inherit. So then like the address will be automatically linked to the other person. So no problem, okay? But like mother's name is, let's just say, mandatory. Type is text. You can make it as a text, or you can just directly enter. Or there is something else here, track associate. Track associate means you also want to register your mother. For example, ANC or PNC details. So then you can just say track associate, then like again a new form will be open where they can enter it. But for now, I just say text. Let's not complicate things. Just add this one. Add new father name. And then I say text. It's not mandatory. Add. Okay, let's just see. Okay, and this is an identifier. This is an identifier. Okay, the rest all not. Let's just see, we have parents' phone number. Okay, we have phone number. I can just like edit this and I say parent phone number, update. Okay, just 1 second. I'll go for maintenance, persons and program. Click on person attribute, then you add all the attributes. Okay, add new, you have name, description, you can set whether it is mandatory or not, whether this is inherited to other members or not. And then value type, you have number, just normal number, text, yes or no, yes only, date, phone number, track associate if you want to track your mother also, age, just if you want to just enter the years, users is if you want to say, like usually what happens, like we also have who is your health worker who is following it up. Like for example, in India, the outreach health worker, they always have their catchment area, and they are responsible for 5,000 or 3,000 population. So then they say, okay, this is the user, so you can include the DHIS user, or predefined. When you say predefined, you can have your own options here, attribute options. This is very different from option set, okay? Yeah, this is a person's attribute. Option set is very different, but not very, very different. It's same, but here you can add your own options for your person attribute. Okay? Once we have done that, we go for identifier. What is here? And then we add, say, parent identifier. Okay, maybe passport or national identifier. Okay, and we can make it mandatory or related. Related is used for say family insurance card number or something. Okay, so now I just say it's not related, but it's mandatory. And you can say passport number, number of characters or anything, but like now I'll leave it blank. And I just say text, it's fine, add it. Okay, and then I need to add one more, it is birth registration number. You can make it mandatory or not, okay? Local identifier. You can use different type, but I don't want to use local identifier, just let's say text. Okay? So what I did, I created person attribute. I created identifier. Okay. Now, and also created option set. Now what we do, we go back and check our file. Okay, we have finished this one. Now we have to create data elements. What are the data elements here? We have data elements called date of death, cause of death, place of death, and audit yes or no. Okay? So I'll go back to DHIS, maintenance, data element, add new, say date of death. You can include date of death, but also your reporting date is also date of death. So it depends on like what you want to do. Okay? But like now it's just like date of death, code, domain type patient, value type death, and that's it. I say add. I say add new. It's place of death, domain type, this one, value type, okay, text, and then option set, place of death, add. And then we also have one more is ICD core. This is cause of death. Domain type patient, value type text, and option set ICD diagnosis. You can use same option multiple times in multiple data elements, okay? So now I use diagnosis in other place also. I'm using the same option set diagnosis here. So it's okay. Added. And then I need to create one audit. Audit conducted. Okay, patient. Here I just say yes only. Just tick if it's audit conducted. And then done. Okay? So now I added the data element. So now what I do is to create a program. I go for maintenance, program. I click on program here, add new. I say infant death audit. And then these are the different type of program, right? So now I just say single event with registration. Yeah? I'll come to this one a bit later. If you see, now you have lots of things around here. Before we didn't. Now I just say, okay, these are the different things. Allow future incidence date, no. Show incidence date. The incident date is when actually it happened. I just say, don't show incident date because it's just one. Enrollment date. This is the one thing. Enrollment date is when people have enrolled for a particular program. But in that, we don't really say, okay, I enroll your death program, so you can call it something else. Okay, so we can call it date of reported. Date of. Okay. And this we already have allow enrolling from all the org unit or not. I just say no. Here, like when we had that type, say, track associate, here you can choose a relationship. I explain to this one a bit later, okay? When I talk about the full-fledged program, I can explain this more. But now I'll leave this one blank. Yeah? Let's not worry about this one yet. Let's just get through how do we include the person. The next stage, I can take it a bit longer. Okay? And here is all your person attribute. all the person attribute what you have created is here. So now you can include it. I want first name, last name, gender, address, mother's name, father's name, parent's number. I want parent identifier and birth registration number. Okay? So I took everything. And here, and this display in person list, like when we are making a schedule or report, you want not everything to display, for example, in a mobile phone, when you are seeing, you can just say display in personal list. When you are searching for one particular person, you don't want address and all different these fields to be shown. You just want very few things. Then what I just say, display this, first name, last name, gender, and let's just say parents identifier, for example, or birth registration. Just these things, as I said, display in list. Okay? Fine? And I say add. Now what we did, we created a program called infant death audit. Yeah, and then included our person attribute into that program. Okay? But like we still need to include the data element. For that, we click on infant death, view program stage. So since it's a single event, DHS has already created it. So I click, edit. And here, don't worry about these things. I'll come to that a bit later. Some of them I already talked about. Now I want to include the data. I want to say, okay, infant death, cause of death, date of death, place of death, added or not, okay? So we have this one. And then you can say compulsory or other things. Yeah? I say display and report. And here, if you see, since this is a date field, this is activated, date in future. I don't know, cause of date of death. My death will happen in 2015, this particular month. Yeah, maybe. Okay, but it's, for example, if you're conducting a training program, DHS Academy Nepal, maybe, October. So then you can like include that one. Okay, so these are future dates. Only if you want to allow future date, click on here. If not, it will always take the previous ones. Okay. For example, EDD, expected date of delivery. When you always collected expected date of delivery, then you put future date. So that's one of the good use cases to use. Okay, so now we do this one, and here is reporting date. Okay, update. So what we did, we created a person attribute, everything. We included the data element, and now we included data element in program stage. But we still need to assign this program to a particular org unit, and we need to assign this program to user role. Yeah? So same, not like, just like before. We click on infant death audit, assign program to organization unit. I'll just say all the PHC, save, click on infant death audit, assign to roles, super user, done. Okay, so now it's finished. Now I just want to look at my data entry screen. I go for services, individual record, and there we have something called single event with registration. Before we went to single event without registration. Yeah, so now we are going to single event with registration. Just one more future thought. We are going to remove this. In 215, we are going to remove it. We merge these two together. Okay? Yeah. But not, now it's the same. Same concept, but we are just going to merge this because it does not really make any sense. We want to make it more easier. Okay? Single event with registration. I select the org unit, and I see, okay, I have my infant audit. I click, list all the person. If you see, this is what I clicked on, show in my personal list. Let me just show you. When I created the program, where is that? Here, edit. Display in personal list. Birth registration number, patient identifier, first name, last name, gender. This is what you see here. You tick here, and this is the list of all the people who have been enrolled in this particular audit. And then you don't want everything to be, all the information to be shown here. So you can use this one, okay? For example, let me just take birth registration, list all the persons. Nothing is around here. I hope this one will have. Nope. Okay, it's not assigned. So now what I'm doing, sorry. Services, individual record, single event with registration. I selected an org unit, selected my program, infected audit, add new, and then I'm adding the identifier. If you see, in the top are all the identifier. Okay? Birth registration number, something, first name, John, last name, baby, for example, gender, male, address, Vietnam, father's name, E, father's name, MMM, parent phone number, right. And then these are your disease or your cause of the health data. Cause of death, cholera. Date of death, it was 4th. Place of death, it's health center. Audit conducted, yes. Okay? Say add, register or things. I just say add. And now it is added, all these things. Okay? Back, list all the person. Just a second. It should show. What did I do? Did I cancel it? Let me just do one more time. Add a new register. What's happening? Am I getting any message? Did I assign to, oh. Okay, that's strange. Just 1 second. The visual records, single event with registration. Which org unit was it? Yeah, but let me just look, why is this one now? this is system. Enrollment. Identifier 2, 3, 4, 2, 3. Yep. Maybe like I'm using the different server, but like you can just try it out for this in your server. Maybe that's working. Maybe in my laptop it's not. Let me also look at the users. Program, infant death audit, super user. I've selected super user. Yeah. Okay, you try it on with your user. Let's just see if it works. Huh? Let me just like add. Okay, so now what you'll do, you try just the same thing, but the assignment 2, just include it and add your things. And by that time, let me just also find out why is it not working. Just a quick thing. Now I see I can add my own thing. Huh? I see my name. The problem was we used to go for services, individual record. What happened there? Yeah, I'm using a DHIS2 instance. We used to go for single event with registration. And now I've been told that this was no more allowed in 215, but it's also not allowed here. They forgot to remove it. So go for add new person, find and add new person. So this is where all will be, okay? Don't go to single event with registration. Just go for find and add new person. Select your org unit. Select your program. It was infant death. Okay. Click on add new. This is the custom screen which I created. Just like add something. First name, address, something, phone number. Yeah, reporting date. And add. Okay. Now what you see is a person profile. Okay. You see this is the person enrolled. And this is enrolled for this program. This is what we call person dashboard. I was thinking to explain this one in the multi-event program, but this is what we have. Now we are moving even the single registration around here. The plan was if you register the birth, you can also include them in the immunization. So one person can enroll in multiple different programs, and you can see this. This is what we call person dashboard. We have a dashboard for viewing all the other data. This is person dashboard. You can view everything here. If you want, you can edit the profile, change the location. And this is the program which we are in. And this is the data what you have selected. Okay? I just say cause of death, home, here, audited. And you can post and add new, are complete. Okay? So one more time, we go for services, individual record. We don't go for single event with registration. We just click on find and add new person. We select the facility for which we have assigned the program. We can click on view, and this is all our programs. We select the program which we created. We click on add new, and we can do it. Here, if you just click on list all the persons, there you see everything. For example, this is the other person which I created. You can either personal dashboard, edit the profile, relationship management, change the location, or remove. Okay?
So do we need to create the person
No. Don't worry. Just have it. But a person registration form is also there, but like you can also include it there or not. Yeah. Person registration form, you can also create a particular program or not, but you can also use just normally. That was, I was thinking it was person registration form was creating the problem. Okay? It's fine? Okay. So we go for services, individual record. Instead of going for single event with registration, we just click on find and add new person. We select the org unit which we have assigned. We select the program which is there. Like for example, this one. And click on add new person. If you don't select anything, you can still also add new person. But this is all the details what we have selected in the attribute. But for example, we don't want that one. We want very basic things related to my program. Then you select find and add person. You select your program first, and then add new. If you want to include to one particular person, one particular program. If you just want to add a person, just click add new. Okay? And here, this is the person audit that. You can view all the persons around here. You can click on add new, enter this form, and then you'll see the person dashboard. For example, 111, 111, name 111, everything. Okay? And I create, add, and then you see person dashboard. Person is enrolled to this particular program. Here are the data entry screen. Here is the attribute information. And here is the program report. Okay? This person, you can, like when we go for other program, one person can be linked into multiple programs. So if this person is also included into, let's say, enroll, let's just say he's also included to child health program, then you can also see the child health program details. Yeah. So this is a person dashboard where we can have one program or many programs for that particular person. Okay? So this is completely one thing what we can try to say. Yeah. Fill it up. Yes. Okay? Fine? So now we continue with the assignment. You have any questions? Identifier. Oh, someone included identifier here. Let me just click here. Ah, this one. Okay. This is something which we have created. Okay, I'll explain you now. You can click on toggle. That means this is the high risk case. For example, you have a pregnancy registry and you are recording the whole pregnancy. And then you want to highlight this pregnant woman as high risk cases. So then you click on this. And then like system will say this is high risk case. Which one? It's depending on the screens and the size. If, for example, it's here on here, and then it is smaller. So it's a bit complicated, but yeah, that's what it is. Okay.